Christian Mosquera's arrival at Arsenal felt under the radar at first, a promising Spain U21 centre-back brought in from Valencia to add depth, but his first few appearances have changed the conversation overnight. Watching him play, you notice a mixture of old-school physicality and modern composure. He meets aerial duels with authority, times interceptions before danger develops, and after winning possession, prefers a crisp forward pass rather than a panicked clearance. That calmness on the ball is not accidental. It allows the team to keep its shape and to begin attacks from the back instead of simply surviving pressure. The reaction from inside the squad has been immediate and telling. Teammates have been shocked, not by arrogance but by how natural he looks at this level, and that kind of endorsement from a peer matters more than headlines. Jerian Timber's frank appraisal that it looks so easy when Mosquera plays is not a throwaway compliment, it's a signal that the newcomer's presence changes the internal dynamic at training and match days. For Mikel Arteta, that dynamic opens a set of questions he would rather not ignore. William Saliba remains one of the club's most influential defenders, and Gabriel carries his own unquestioned quality. But when a young player arrives and immediately offers reliable minutes, a manager has to weigh form against reputation, freshness against established rhythm. Those choices are not merely about who starts one match. They shape rotation choices across weeks of intense fixtures, influence when you can afford to rest a key man, and determine how adaptable your team can be when injuries or suspensions inevitably arrive. On the pitch, Mosquera's attributes give Arteta tactical flexibility. He can drop deeper to plug gaps when Arsenal want to protect a lead, or step forward aggressively to snuff out developing threats when the team seeks control. He reads long balls well and neutralises simple routes opponents might have relied upon, but equally important is the way his composure speeds up Arsenal's transitions. A timely, accurate pass from the back converts a defensive moment into immediate pressure higher up the field. The effect spreads beyond individual duels. When backups know they can be thrown in without the team losing shape, training intensity lifts. Starters face the daily reality of competition, and that drives marginal gains in focus and effort. Opponents will notice too and alter their plans. Strikers who once looked for runs behind a slower replacement will now have to account for Mosquera's timing. Midfielders will feel passes closed down earlier. Coaches will tweak instructions to exploit perceived weaknesses that simply no longer exist. Off the pitch, there are broader implications. A player who performs well at the Emirates draws new attention, pundits craft narratives, rivals study tendencies, and transfer market valuations tick up. For Mosquera himself, the task is simple and brutal: to convert early promise into mid-season consistency, because the Premier League does not reward flashes alone. For Arsenal, the task is managerial: balancing minutes, preserving form, and choosing when to assert trust in proven stars and when to ride the immediate momentum of a bright newcomer. The most compelling part of this story is how small decisions can carry outsized consequences. A single selection in a high-pressure match can be the hinge on which a run turns, and that is why Timber's observation matters so much. It frames the moment as both immediate praise and an omen that choices coming out of the next fixture list could reshape the tone of Arsenal's camp. Tonight and in the matches ahead, we will see whether this is the beginning of a sustained rise or the opening chapter of a season defined by tough but constructive decisions. Either way, a young defender who makes it look easy has already forced everyone to think harder about how this Arsenal will be built match by match.